happening?
Hey guys, welcome to episode 11 of What's Wrong with These Kids. Glad you stopped by to join us. The topic for today is injuries. It was an obvious choice. Logan, do you want to share why it was an obvious choice?
I don't know why it's so obvious. I don't know if you guys listened to a couple of episodes ago when we were talking about me falling out of a tree, and then I had a scar on my arm and that whole ordeal. But I fell out of a tree as an adult, almost 33 years old, and totally screwed up my face. Now, granted, I was very good at climbing up the tree. And then I think when I was going down, I took some pictures. I went over there earlier for a movie night, and I took some pictures. One of my friends was like, "You should take a chainsaw and go cut that tree down," as like a sign of defiance or something. But it was like, "Oh yeah, just casually like I'll jump around this branch." And I remember my friends that were also in the tree. They're like, "Oh yeah, Tarzan." And I think I was like, "Oh yeah, that's funny. Like my great great grandfather wrote Tarzan." I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how many it was, Edgar Rice Burroughs. And so, like, I tried to jump around one of the main trunks. It was a bad tree to climb. It's totally bad. And I jumped over there, and I went to go lean down across from me and use my left hand to grab. And the idea was I was going to grab this one branch and just kind of like slide down, swing down, and just safely land down. But it was way too big for it would be like me trying to palm a football. And I just went like that, and I just slipped. My feet went up, and it just threw my head straight into the ground.
Nice.
Yeah,
Now
not
your
fun.
head or your face?
Well, I mean, my face is part of my head. But it was like the right side of me, and enough to where it knocked me out. I was unconscious. My friend up in the tree thought I was joking because I found out she thought I was like chuckling, but it was really just me, just like breathing through blood. And like, and she's like, "Oh, Logan," because that does sound like something I would do, like make a joke like that. And then when I didn't move, and then those two, which were the worst ones, because other people had gone inside and they went up there. There's a whole ordeal with him, like, yeah, so we need like a towel and a pillow for Logan. And Brooke was like, oh, he must have like fainted because it's hot outside or something like that. And like, also, one you want to throw away. Long story short, broke my nose, fractured my face a bunch of different places, threw off my jaw, messed up my teeth, and now I think tomorrow or the next day I'm gonna have to have my mouth wired shut while they fix my teeth, my jaw, and my teeth. And so that's why we're trying to record some podcasts, because otherwise the rest of them are gonna be like, so anyway, so I started talking.
We hate to laugh at your pain, but if you're going to be dumb, you got
No,
to be tough.
yeah, and Scott, yeah, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, he's making jokes the whole time." I'm like, "Yeah, this is the life of Logan. Like, I'm used to it. Like, this is how you get through." I'm like, "Hey, I didn't die, guys." So, and the whole time when the doctor today was talking about putting plates in my head, and all I could think about, like, my name's Logan. Wolverine's name's Logan. Are these plates going to be adamantium steel? Am I just getting closer and closer to being Wolverine?
Did
They're
you
like,
ask him?
no, he said titanium, but you get what you can get.
Oh man! So now you have the perfect tool to use if you get in a bar fight. You can just use your head.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, can you cover the rest of my skull in that? Or is that more? I don't know. Yeah.
You look like kind of look like Kano from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, if it was silver, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So we're gonna talk about
Yeah.
injuries because they're definitely common to children. You know, like when we went to the pediatrician one time and Charlie had bruises all over his shins, and pediatrician's like, "I can see you've been playing," because it's just kids just whack into things, and so I thought we would turn back time and talk about injury stories from the past. And we've covered some of these before. We talked about the infamous breaking your thumb story. We talked about that. I'm fairly sure we probably talked also about me getting a thumb stuck in my eye, which was kind of the other side of the coin. That was you getting me
Oh well,
back.
yeah. I got that blood in my eye now, so
So we would talk about stories. I want you to go ahead and kick us off with the the ramp story in Northridge.
Oh, with the kettle car, like at the end of the hill. Oh no, you're talking about with Dustin.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So in the cul-de-sac where we were living, I think actually our house was probably the last area with the first division, right? So the
Hmm.
second division. But there were houses and people that lived there, but they were building a couple around the cul-de-sac. And
Right.
so in the meantime, I think what was it? Was it
Mulch.
mulch? Yeah, mulch. I mean, yeah.
They
So they
had
had
it was
mulch,
like two
but
two
we
truckloads of mulch.
yeah, but I don't know if it just somebody saw it and was like, boom, that looks like a ramp. If we take some plywood from the construction site, or if we shaped it to make it a ramp.
It's another story of us stealing stuff from construction sites to have
We
fun.
always assumed that it was just free. We didn't know that. Well, Scott was like, yeah, even no, they take it back and they get money back for it. We had no idea because I remember making paintball parks in the woods. We were like, oh yeah, they're not using it. They're just in a different pile. And we're just like walk over there. So we had this ramp. So it's in a driveway of a house that's being built.
Hmm.
It basically has like all the siding and everything. It just doesn't have the interior drywall and everything. But it's
Yeah.
just a huge pile of mulch that they were probably using for multiple houses.
Yes.
It was, but we figured we could go up pretty much where the door is, go down the little sidewalk on our bikes, and then just jump this ramp. We're like, cool. Um, One time, and I don't even remember what the deal was, but I remember this happened 3 times, I think, with Dustin. Um, uh, and so there was like a little dip, and then it came down. So he was over there, not sure what he was doing, but it was kind of like we would always like even down the hill with a kettle car when we jump off that ramp. Usually there's somebody down the corner, like make sure no cars are coming.
Right. Right.
So it was like everything's clear, but last minute Dustin ran over, like maybe he dropped his watch or something like that, and
No,
went
he
over
was
to.
like digging in the mulch. He was like trying to dig a hole or
I
something.
don't know what he was doing. He was just down there, but you couldn't see him from like when you're riding your bike
Yes.
down here, right?
Yes.
So like somebody, I don't even know who it was. I don't think it was me because I saw the whole thing. It might have been Matt or you or
It was Matt. Matt was riding his bike.
so Matt. Okay, so Matt
Yeah.
hit him. Yeah. So if you're gonna, don't at me, Dustin. At Matt. Talk to his lawyers. Um, but yeah. So Dustin, at the last second, just sticks his dumb head up over here and just the rear tire of Matt's bike just hits
Right in
him
the face.
straight in the face.
Right in the face.
And he's like, ah! And he did this. He grabbed his head and just kind of like went
Ran
around
in
in circles.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, went around in circles like a video game. He did that 3 times. Always did that, and like it was almost like he wasn't sure what to do.
I
And they
remember
just
you.
ran. It was
Yeah.
like it was just like a video game. If you like bonked a dude, it was like "Bop, bop, 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 bop," and then ran away. Like that's how it was, and we are like, what happened there? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he definitely got hit pretty hard. I
Oh
think
yeah.
he probably had a black eye too there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because yeah, he got hit probably some tread marks on his
Yes.
side of his face.
Yeah, I remember that happened too. We were swinging one of those foam
Bats,
bats.
yeah, yeah. The
So
bat
it
hit him
had
too, and he did the same thing.
it was the same thing. It
I
now
think
it,
that
it
with
wasn't a foam bat like all foam. It had like a plastic core. So it was a
it was like a good t-ball bat, but it had like some like it was like a Nerf baseball bat. If you
yes.
look up that, it's a Nerf baseball bat, but it was hard. Like you could hit a, a ball with it. It
Yeah.
was Nerf ball. It was like kind of softer or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, but no, if you hit someone in the head with it, it's not going to feel good. It's not all foam.
No.
But I think I swung it and let it go, and it went whoop 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 whoop, whoop and hit him in the head. And he did the
Yes.
same thing. Grabbed his head,
Same thing.
stomped his feet, ran in a circle, and went home. Do you think he's a robot? And he just had. I think he's a cyborg. Now I'm starting to put the pieces together.
Maybe he was an alien and he was studying human culture and that was how the aliens that's how they responded. I don't know. Yeah, I remember that several times. I remember yes, we also lived on this huge hill and we would constantly set up ramps at the bottom of that hill
And we
and
go Gunner's driveway even
yes,
to get a little
yes,
extra space.
yes. And it never ended well.
Nobody ever broke a tailbone, which is surprising to me.
Nobody ever broke a tailbone, but I did get jacked up one time. I remember coming off, going down the hill, and it wasn't smooth pavement, and so you're just
Oh,
dragging your body
oh.
all on this rough
And you
pavement.
gotta hold the thing because it kept trying to get into gear, and you had
Mhm.
to have your feet up in the air.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
you're very vulnerable, and the handbrake was basically a tiny bar that would go on one wheel. It would not stop. Like if there weren't people down the bottom, like if a car just came out of nowhere, you'd be like,
Oh,
you're better
yeah.
off like jumping in front of the car because there's no way this thing is gonna stop.
Yeah.
Plus, it was plastic wheels, so it would just slide all the way down, anyways.
It was. It was not. It was not a smart thing for us to do to go down the ramp, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of
I
fun.
don't know how all of our parents were just like, yeah, they'll be fine. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure it was like on the deck. It would probably been like all the sisters, like all the girls
Yes.
watching
Watching
all the
this.
boys. Like, look at these dumb idiots. What are they doing?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't
And
know
we
if
like get
mom
out there like,
watched.
this hurts so much.
I don't know
Like
if
I like
mom was
how
like. I don't know if she was like thinking, this is the one bit of entertainment I have. Like, I want to watch these idiot boys go down this hill. There's nothing. It was
oh,
the
this
worst
is
thing that
good.
can
I
happen.
want to practice doing a splint on on a
Yeah.
kid.
I don't know. You're right. I don't know why it was like, oh, either that or, I mean, because there was giant windows facing that hill all over the house.
She could have been like, oh wow, no one's bothering me when I'm in the bathroom.
Which should have been her first clue. Should have been her first clue that there was something wrong.
There's nobody bothering me.
Oh man, I remember that. I remember one time, I don't remember how Matt hurt his ankle, but he hurt his ankle, and I remember
It wasn't in the
him
quicksand, right?
no, it wasn't in the quicksand. It wasn't in the quicksand. No, but I remember he hurt his ankle, but I remember like they couldn't afford crutches, I guess. And so his dad gave him like these
He made them.
polio it was like these like polio crutches. It wasn't like regular crutches, they're like polio crutches.
That
And
sounds like something Matt's dad would have. Oh, these remind me when I was your age.
I remember he handed it. So Matt's like hobbling his way. He looks like you know what he looked like? He looked like was Timmy the one on crutches on South Park?
Timmy. No, he's in a wheelchair.
Who was the guy that was with crutches?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't remember it, and I don't want to try to look it up
Was
because
it Jimmy?
Jimmy maybe.
Maybe it was Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yes, I think he looked like Jimmy. He was hobbling on those crutches, and I remember. Oh, he was so mad. He's like, "I'll just figure this out without it. I'll figure out how to live my life without an ankle that works." Oh,
That's
man.
usually what I do with my injuries. Because, like, honestly, like, I remember when I busted my face, and I kept thinking, oh, hey, Carrie. I was thinking, because I didn't see my face, and I was just like, God, why is everybody freaking out? Like, I thought I just had, like, a big cut on my forehead, and I was like, everyone's, like, worrying. I'm like, oh, big deal. I'm like, I feel embarrassed. Like, I didn't, like, stick that landing very good. Like, I'm really good at climbing trees, but I just didn't do a good job getting
Hey,
down. And then I saw a picture. I asked Brooke to send me a picture. I'm like, oh God, oh no, that's not good.
so listen, Carrie wants to see it. So here, take the mask off so she can see
Oh,
what it
this is
looks
actually
like.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on a second. I took off the earpiece. And then like yeah, it's all yellow here, and then it's draining down here. It's hard to see, but it was. I'll send you a picture.
Send me a picture. We'll put it on the Facebook. We'll put it on the Facebook. So anybody who wants to see can go on Facebook and see your
Yeah.
nasty zombie face.
Oh yeah. The only thing is the color, but everyone. It was weird. Like I was sitting there in like ICU, and I had like 5 friends, just like, oh hey, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Like I don't know why everybody's like freaking out. Like it's just like I hurt myself. Blah blah blah. Like why am I here? Why did they cut off my pants? I remember actually. You might have to bleep this part out, but I remember in the ambulance. Like they cut off, like I was like, I get you cut off my shirt. Check this out. And then they cut off my pants and boxers. And then I'm like, and I remember Vinny was in the ambo with me, and I was like, hey, why are you looking at my? I hit my head. He's like, dude, you kept saying these funny things because I was like, I think it was my personality, the alcohol I was drinking, and the concussion. Like I was just like on fire or whatever. And they're just like cracking out. They're like, yeah, okay, hold on, let's do this. And I'm like, but no, it's like they put me in like a hallway, like right by the front, just a hall, like just like push aside where here's the front desk. Like I could see it, and I could just keep asking.
Hmm.
Naked, just with like a blanket over me, and I had to ask them, like, oh, okay. Apparently, I was like, because I was trying to be joking because I can't be serious.
Right.
Like, yeah, you see me at funerals. It's not fun.
It's not
But I
fun.
kept being like, she's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Hey, you want to see a sneak?" Like Vinny, I'm like, "Hey, you want to see a sneak peek?" He's like, "No." But I'm like, but that was me going, "How come no one gave me pants? I've been sitting here, no pants. I had to ask for I was like, can I get like a what is that thing called? Like the like anything? Like can I get some scrub pants or can I get like one of the gowns?" And they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I guess we can. I'm like, what do you mean you guess I can? I'm sitting in like basically like in the lobby naked.
Hi, this podcast is brought to you by me, Logan, and also my brother CJ. But if you would like to plug your business or make one of us read something out loud for whatever reason, head over to patreon.com/wwwtk. Then you could see videos of our podcasts and call me out on the internet about how my hairline is receding. Also, I can afford a better microphone so my voice doesn't sound like crap.
And I'm like, what? And then at one point I asked, I was like, hey, can I get this IV like closed off so I can go to the bathroom? It's like right over here. She's like, well, here, let me give you this. And she gave me like a bottle, like just hooked on the side of my gurney. She's like, you can use that. And I'm like, so you want me to just sideways piss in this Gatorade bottle when people are walking by me? And I'm like, this is stupid. And so, like, at least I figured out I could pull like a little curtain around.
Yeah.
But people kept constantly they would keep pulling over. It'd be like a new group of like doctors and like all of their residents. And I'm like, thank God, like I timed it right because I'm like trying to like half side pee through, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think you've ever tried that sometime if you get bored. So to lay down and lean over and pee sideways into a Gatorade bottle.
I
It's
think there's a
not
Gatorade bottle handy. I think I've got one handy.
it's
I'll have to take a
it's
look.
not easy. The last time I peed in the Gatorade bottle was my roommate was having an argument, like a very vocal argument in the living room with her boyfriend, and I just didn't want to go out there and deal with that. So it's like, what do I have here?
So you're talking about, waiting in that waiting room. It reminded me of a camp that you and I went to. We went to an MWR camp at Pensacola.
Yep, yep, yeah.
And I
But I
remember
don't think we peed in Gatorade bottles, did we?
we did not pee in Gatorade bottles, but we were on this beach and there were all these rocks and I slit my foot open.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and it was bleeding really bad. And so they took me back to the camp and were trying to call dad to come get me. And the only bandage they had, I think, was the same one you would use if a shark bit a chunk out of your torso. So I had this massive bandage like wrapped around my foot trying to keep it to stop from bleeding. Anyway, so they couldn't get a hold of dad. So I'm waiting in this waiting room for it felt like a long time. I'm a
Wait,
little kid.
where were you? Were you in the hospital that Dad worked at?
No, no, no. So it was the MWR camp. So it was another facility on base. And
So you
so
okay? So you were on NAS, and Dad. Okay, I know where we were. We were on NAS, which is separated from where Naval Hospital is. The only reason I know this so much is because I worked
lived there. Yeah. So, anyways, but I was sitting there waiting, and they like left me alone. Like there was nobody else in the building, and I'm like fourth grade, third grade, and I'm sitting alone in this building with a bloody foot, trying to hobble around to like find something to eat. But I don't know if you ever knew, but he was coming to pick you up early because you didn't want to go, and you made this big deal you didn't want to go, and
Well,
so he
because
shows.
we went from PCC, and then we went to MWR, and we're like, and we all of us didn't get along with the kids. Like it was always an issue. Something was going on. We're like, okay, this is weird.
So he came to pick you up, and there I am sitting there like, oh hey dad, did you get the call? And he's like, what call? What are you talking? And again, before cell phones, and he's like, I guess I'm taking you to go see if we need to get stitches. I didn't need to get stitches, though I do still have
I
the scar.
remember you leaving bloody footprints at Chuck E. Cheese, though.
I don't remember
Because the
this.
stitches, I remember.
Oh yeah, yeah, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
because the stitches came out and you had your socks on, and that's how we just saw little bloody footprints going somewhere, and they made us leave. Obviously,
No, I don't think they did. Chuck E. Cheese is oblivious.
did
They
they
have no
just
idea what's
clean it
going
up?
on.
Maybe. Oh, but I think that's how we figured out where you went. It was like literally like a Sherlock Holmes like magnifying glass. Like, oh, let's follow these footsteps. But yeah, you were at like the prize counter, and then I think you must have like stomped your foot because you didn't have enough tickets or something like that, and I think you broke your stitches,
Oh,
and
there's no
then
telling. Well, I
and it
didn't have
like
stitches.
went through.
It was just bandages.
Well, then it went through your white
Yep.
socks,
Yep.
and then it was like bloody foot. I remember that moment, and we were like, "Oh, gross." Uh, and then I think you even went in there. Yeah, shoot, who knows?
I was
Good
probably
thing,
in the ball pit,
good thing you don't have any diseases, because yeah, you probably were in the ball pit. You're all up down the slide. Kids were like, "Oh, somebody's makeup got all on me. My
Oh
white
my
shirt's
goodness.
ruined."
Oh my goodness. I remember we went to Chick-fil-A recently, and Zeke was in the playground, and he came down on the slide, and I was like, "Son, did you pee your pants?" And he goes, "No, Daddy, that's not mine." And I was like, "Oh, we're going home.
That's not mine.
We're going home. We're going home. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Gonna take you home and bathe you quickly." Oh my goodness. So yeah, so I remember that. I remember slicing my foot open. I'm trying to think I got several other scars. I got a scar from when playing basketball and uh junior. Pulled my feet out from under me. I went up for a shot and he like knocked my feet up from under me and I landed on my arm on that stupid pavement. I've got a keloid scar right there from that one. There's that one. I got a scar on my back from doing a back dive too close to the edge of the pool. That was fun.
Oh, I remember that. I
Yeah.
always worry about that.
Yep. Yep. So I did it a little too close and skinned my back, and I've got a inch and a half scar on my back.
I remember trying to do a gainer, um, and then halfway through, I thought, like, as I looked back, I thought it was above, like, I was about to land on the cement, and just freaked out, and then just, like, belly flopped, like, way, way. I was like, oh, if I would have just committed to it, it probably would have worked
It'd been
out.
fun. It'd been fun.
And
Oh
even,
man.
that was, like, me climbing on stuff, when I go out on the boat. There's like a floating dock, and I just keep monkeying up on top of it on the roof of this floating barge. And I'm like, oh yeah, just keep doing 1.5s because I remember doing that at Camp McConnell.
Hmm.
But no, I guess I gotta wait to do that for a little
Now you
bit.
gotta wait. Add that to the list of things you can't do with a busted face.
Yeah.
So here's an obligatory Jeff story. I remember we were having a party at Matt's house, and Maria had come. You remember Maria, our next door
No.
neighbor, blonde girl next door
Yeah.
neighbor?
Oh, blonde girl.
Yep. So she was there, and he was sitting on the back of her car, and all of a sudden she decided just to drive off. Like he's sitting on the back of the car, she just takes off, and he slips and he falls, but his belt buckle attaches to the license plate of the car, and so she drags him like 22 feet with like his legs are just flailing behind, and
Did
eventually
she
his
have a
belt.
car then, or was she just taking her mom's car?
Uh, I think it was
I
her
don't.
car.
I don't think she was old enough to drive then, was she?
No, she was on to drive it. Like she legally drove there, and I think it was her car because I think it was a beater. I think it was a beater. But anyways, eventually his belt buckle gave way, snapped his pants off, and he ended up, having his pants wide open on the ground with a bloody leg, and we had to go and clean that up.
I don't remember that story. I do remember Maria though, because I remember Matt West and I would always joke like, "No, she's using you to get to us." I remember saying that constantly because I think she had a crush on you, and you just wouldn't pull the trigger or whatever. And you're like,
Yeah,
nah, she's just hanging out with you so she can hang out with us, and we just kept doing that. It was like a funny joke between the two of us.
man, I don't know how many awkward conversations I had with her mom or her mom
I think you
had in my
dodged the bullet,
vicinity.
to be honest.
I
Yeah,
did, I did, I
fast
did
forward
not.
2 years.
Oh my goodness. You remember that? Were you there that day when she was running back and forth from the house to her car with these garbage bags? She was running away. Like she was like, "I'm done with this. I'm out. Peace.
I think we
Forget
were
it."
watching from our window, and like,
Yes, we were. Yes, we were. Like, oh my goodness, what is she doing?
I'm
Um,
surprised we didn't shoot like pop rocks at her.
but no, I remember my graduation party. Carrie's at my graduation party, and her mom is like loudly going like, I really hope that things work out and CJ marries my daughter. And I'm going, my girlfriend's sitting right here. Like, what are you doing?
Did it
And that
ever
was
work out with you and that Carrie girl you're talking about?
so far so good. So far so good.
I
Um,
just sent her the 3 pictures, so I'm waiting to hear her scream from upstairs.
oh my goodness. Is that what that puking noise is that I'm hearing?
Well, she's a nurse. She's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't do well with those things. Don't do well with those things. Um, so yeah, so a couple
it's
other
like,
stories real quick.
do you ever? Okay, here's one thing. With shots, because I got a like a flu shot and a tetanus shot, and every time they give me a shot, like I just look away, and they
Mhm.
were like, "Oh, are you afraid of needles?" I'm like, "No, I just don't like seeing it going in. Like it doesn't hurt, but it just looks gross to me." That's another reason why probably you and I are not in the medical profession. We went into IT.
Well, I had to get a bunch of shots recently, and they were like, you know, I forgot what they asked me, and I was like, no, just give me the shot. And they're like, seriously? And I go, yeah. She
Yeah,
goes, oh, do you like getting shots? I go, no, nobody likes getting
nobody
shots,
like yeah, except for
but
like
just
junkies.
do it. And she's like,
Actually, even
okay.
junkies don't like getting shots.
But she said the worst ones were the University of Florida athletes. Like the linemen would come in, and they had to give them shots, have to hold them down, and a whole big thing.
Oh,
Um,
I just don't look at it.
So I was thinking about this is kind of a little bit of an offshoot, but I'm thinking injuries that mom ignored. Okay, there you go. There's your
Oh, here's
prompt.
one. Okay. How about the time when no, this is mostly my fault, but when we must have stole a piece of like 2x4 from a construction site and
Sounds
some
like us.
and nails. And so I just nailed three nails into this piece of wood and it was like, all right, done. Um and then I walked over and stepped on it. So it went
Hmm.
through in my foot. And mom was talking to Matt Featherstone. Wait, no, Matt Gretham's dad, right? I think so, right? Is
I don't
his
know.
last? Okay, so she
Well,
was
there was a
talking.
Matt Featherstone and there was a Matt Greetham, so I don't know who you're
Who's the
talking
one
about.
who's the one that fixed our balcony when
Greetham.
the wind blew it over? Okay,
Greetham.
Gretham. Yeah, when the wind blew it over. Just let the record be. No. Um, so I went over there. I'm like, and mom's like, "Hey, I'm talking to somebody." I'm like, "Oh yeah." So I went over, and then that's when I stepped on it with the other foot, and I came back. And then when she finally figured out, I just stepped on nails on both my feet. And it wasn't even Easter, so I don't even know what she thought I was doing.
No
But yeah,
idea.
yeah, I did that. Those are my own personal injuries. The other one was, we talking about Dustin, how he would always. I remember one time I went to go. He was on our uh, work machine bench thing. It was like
Yeah.
a pulley machine, so you could do like everything or whatever.
Yeah, the
And
all-in-one gyms.
yeah, yeah. And so I went to go kick a basketball at his head while he was like busy, and then as karma would have it, it bounced off the bar right next to him, it went right back and hit me in the face, and then I like fall down, and he starts laughing, and I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I deserve that."
So my story of an injury that mom ignored was she loves this story. She loves these stories. We have a great mom. We love our mom,
Yes,
but
mom. I know you're listening.
every parent has those moments where you go, I would have changed how I handled that. Um, so I came up to her, and I'm sure we were annoying her all morning, and I'm telling her that my nose hurts. It hurts right here, mom. It hurts real
Oh, I
bad.
remember this.
And she's like, Stop. I'm talking to her on the phone. Leave me alone. Let me finish this call." And I don't know who she was talking to, and it doesn't matter. But I was like, okay, I guess I need to just, suck it up. And so I left, and then I went to go hang out at my buddy Jack's house. And
Who's
so
Jack?
Jack, you may remember Jack. It was a short-lived friendship, but
Oh, okay.
we were hanging out, and we went to go see a movie at the mall and got ice cream afterwards. And his mom's saying that there's something wrong with my face, not like in a mean way,
Started
like
swelling up.
in an observant way. And so we get home and she shows my mom. She's like, "Hey, I just noticed this, and it was swelling up." And my mom's like, "That's weird." So she puts a hot compress on my nose and says, "Go to sleep." And so I go to sleep and I wake up, and the whole side of my face is swollen when I woke up the next morning. And so I spent a week in the hospital after
Yeah, I
that.
know you were in the hospital for a long time.
So what had happened is a spider had bitten my face on a sinus and had gotten infected. And so my sinus had gotten infected, and there's all the venom from the spider that was. Anyways,
Yeah,
I
you're
spent.
lucky it didn't go into your eye or your
Oh
brain.
my goodness. So I remember being in the hospital. I remember being in the hospital
Yeah, I remember
with
going
an IV.
several trips to go see you.
I had
At
an
least
IV.
you had your own room.
I did. I did have my own room. I wasn't naked in the hallway.
As
Um,
opposed to
but I remember being in the hospital, and I remember Dad. came down. I thought it was serious because Dad came down to see me while I
Yeah.
was in the hospital, and I remember like
That's
this is
what I'm
gonna
thinking when I got mom and dad coming up and staying with me and
this
sleeping on
is
my couch.
this is gonna sound worse than it is, but I remember. So I'm in third grade, second or third grade, young kid, and mom and dad had been divorced for like 2 years at this point or whatever. And I remember like they were nice to each other and like we were having meals together. And I was like, maybe we watch the Parent Trap every week. I'm like, maybe this is it. This is it. Me getting bit in the face, Parent Trap. Um, but yes, I also remember my mom sent a note to the school saying, "Don't send his homework. He will make up his homework when he gets better."
Mhm.
And they sent me all this homework. So
I think I remember the homework because I think I was young enough where I didn't have actual homework. Did she show you the picture?
no, this is Charlie. Charlie's walked up now.
Oh, okay.
You want to see Uncle Logan's face? She says no. She says no. I don't want to see it.
But you can
Okay.
see this.
You want to see it with the mask?
Boo!
Hey, go to bed, baby. It's almost midnight. Love you.
This is permanent, by the way.
So yes, I remember that. That was my hospital stay. That was the one time I stayed in the hospital, except for like
Yeah,
when
that's
Carrie
the
was having
most I've
babies.
ever spent in the hospital. I remember doing that, and I do remember when that happened. I didn't know what happened. I think they just explained it was like a poison or a bacteria or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think we even had Veronica as our babysitter at the time.
yeah. That sounds about right.
So I
That sounds
think
about right.
she was watching Steph and I.
Yeah. I remember watching Power Rangers, and it was the mini series when Tommy became the Green Power Ranger.
Mhm.
So it was like 6 episodes. I remember that
No,
watching
when he
that.
became the White Power Ranger.
No, 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 no. When Tommy came on and was the Green Power Ranger, there was like a 5, 6 episode series where he
Oh, okay.
became he was the bad, evil Green Ranger and became the good Green Ranger.
Oh,
So
well,
it was
you
it was that
probably
series.
revisited that more recently than I
We
did.
yes, we do watch the Power Rangers in this house. So yeah, so I remember
We,
that.
we, your entire family, like, all right, kids, dinner's done. Now let's go watch some 1996 Power Rangers.
Oh, listen, not just 1996. Zeke has watched just about every series, just about every episode of Power Rangers.
Oh, well, I can't wait to him to try to quiz me on what my Power Rangers knowledge is. I'm like,
It's
hey, you
very
know
limited.
what? That's one of the first soundtracks I ever owned.
Yes, it is very limited because we watched the first series and that is it. And there are about 16 others. So there you go. There you go. Power Ranger knowledge.
No, I do remember. I do remember when you were in the hospital, and I think I thought it was cool because I wasn't hurt, but we got the Jello and stuff like that because Mom wouldn't let us
Got the
eat anything with sugar.
Jello.
Yeah, we would just steal your Jello. No, because Mom wouldn't have us. We would be sugar free everything, especially me. I couldn't have anything with sugar in it, even with Grandma. But when I was there, I could swipe your Jello and be like, "Oh, this is so good." Like, what is Mom making? What is she doing with this sugar free? Whatever she's doing.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Um,
That's like I like going to like uh Junior and Charisma's place and they would make Kool-Aid and
with
they're like, no,
sugar.
no, yeah, you gotta boil the sugar so it's a super saturate.
You get a super
And I'm like,
saturated so it's
oh
nice and
yeah,
thick.
this is how we make Kool-Aid. Like, there's so much sugar, I think I could see the future.
Oh man. Well, I think that's pretty much a good wrap on our injury stories.
Yeah, I can't think. Other than Stephanie, like simple things like when we were jumping on the bed, and then like maybe one of us pushed
Ooh.
her. I'm gonna say it was me, but it's probably
No, no, no. I
and she
know.
hit my mouth.
No, no, no. I'm not thinking. I'm thinking the one where we were at Grandmom's house, and we were running, and we were. It was the bed was like a couch, so it had like arms, and so we would run and we would jump over the first one and slide into the bed. Jump over the first one and slide into the bed. Jump over the first one, slide. We were doing it over and over again. And Stephanie said, "Let me try." And so she ran and jumped and went over it and
It
slammed
hit the
her
wall.
nose, slammed her nose into the arm and cracked her
Oh, I think she hit the
nose.
wall.
No, she hit the arm of the couch. And so we're going to Spain the next day. Like we're spending hours in a plane the next day, and she's got this big black bruise under her eyes. Like Dad just socked her one straight in the eyes. But that was a pretty bad one. That was pretty bad. I remember she had that. I remember she had stitches in her chin because I was pushing
I
her up a
definitely had
slide.
mine at Radica's, where I still have a scar on the bottom of my lip where I was trying to run up well, I did two different things. I had my teeth come through my lip one time, and
Yep.
then one time I think it was in elementary school where there was this girl. I think her name was Amber. I have no idea what her last name is, but I thought it would be cool and like just kind of like jump up on the picnic table where they were sitting at, and I missed. I didn't jump high enough because I'm white, and so I tripped, and my face just went boom on the top of the thing, and my teeth came through. I was like, "Oh no, oh, no!" and just walked straight to the nurse's office and had to get stitches. I was like, "Hey, what's up, girl?" No, nothing, nothing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And just like walked over there, and it was like bleeding, and I went to Granny's. And then for whatever reason, she's like, "Oh, here's some Cheetos," and it just kept getting Cheeto dust mixed in.
Oh.
I was like, "This is not good for like my open sores."
No, thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, apparently my teeth and face are doing pretty good for all the dumb stuff that I do. Especially
Yes.
think about the one time when I was on our mountain bikes and I said, "CJ, whatever you do, don't turn around." Because it
Yeah.
went down
And
bottom gear. You go, what? And turn, and then I hit the side of your bike, flip over, land on my head. I was wearing a helmet. Slide like a good, like, at least 4 feet, and then fall on
mhm.
my back, and then the thing goes, snap.
Yes,
I
when you
did show, I did show mom she gave me money for a new helmet that I showed her videos of it, and I'm like, oh, it's better, and it looks just like a baseball cap, but it's like, yeah, you can drop like 15 bowling balls on it, and I'm like, she's like, good. She's like, yeah, I will pay for this bike.
Oh
Not
man.
despite this helmet.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Well, that's gonna do it for our injury stories. Don't forget to check out our Patreon page and support us so we can continue making these shows. Our Patreon page is patreon.com/wwwtk. What's wrong with these kids? Also, you can go to that same address at Facebook and drop us a message there. Share your stories of your injuries with us there so we can share them on another episode. And just leave some comments or see the picture of Logan's busted face.
Yeah,
So.
I'll definitely post that. And I would like to see what you guys' stories are because I guarantee I can one up you on how my body is. I have no idea how I'm still alive.
Well, I think. Oh, hang on. I see bloody footprints. I probably should look into this. I'll talk to you later.
Check your feet. Bye.